Good morning. Good morning. I've got some chicken and dumplings. I've got a big old chicken right here. And this chicken was $11.55, but it is heavy, heavy. It wasn't but $1.88 a pound. You can't beat that. So I've got my big pot over there on the stove. Look at that thing. Can y'all see it? No, you can't see it. Right there it is. Right there it is. And I've got it turned on high. I'm trying to get it boiling real quickly. So what I'm going to do is take my chicken out of its wrapper, cut it out. I'm going to show it to you. It's a nice fat one. Some of y'all make your dressing with hen, but I make mine with turkey broth. I cook a turkey and all that broth that's in it, I use that. But today we're going to make the chicken and dumplings. You've got to have this for Thanksgiving. My goodness gracious. All right, here he is, or she is. This isn't a rooster. This is a nice hen. Look how big and fat. So what I do is I'm going to wash him, because I always wash mine before I put it in that hot water. Give it a nice rinse. And here's what's inside of it. We've got the neck and the gizzard and the liver, but I'm not cooking that because I'm going to fry that in a little tiny skillet for myself. I like to, when I'm washing a chicken, I like to run the water down in that hollow that's right there. It comes out the other side. Then you turn it on this side and do the same thing. Now I'm not pulling any of that fat off of there because I want that to be in my broth. I like to give him a good washing. Okay. I don't know why we call them hurricanes, like a her. I guess because our women are kind of hurricane-ish. I'm going to put it in this, so I'll carry it over there. And I'm just going to drop it in this pot right here, the boiling water, and I'm going to drop it in with the breast up. Now, I've got enough water in there to actually cover the chicken. I'm going to let it come to a hard boil. Then I'm going to turn it down and let it cook real gently, because I don't want to, I need a lot of juice in there. And then I'm going to show you how to make the dumplings, and we're going to have chicken and dumplings, and it'll be so good. Y'all know it will. Your mama probably used to make them, and your grandmother, and for some reason, you quit making it. Or you got those little frozen things. We're going to make it from scratch with some white lily all-purpose flour, because I don't want mine to puff up. I want them to be flat. So we'll be back in a little while. Y'all know that's soul food, don't you? Chicken and dumplings. That is soul food. All right, I'll be back in a little bit. Hey, y'all, our chicken is good and tender, and this makes the third time that I have changed clothes today. This morning when I got up, it was so cold, and then I got kind of medium, and now I'm burning up. I have on sweatpants, which I shouldn't have on, and they're way too big for me. They're Williams. When I went to his house last time, he had outgrown them, and I said, I want them, and so he gave them to me. Anyway, our chicken is tender. So I've got me 2 spoons. It's not the easiest thing in the world to get it out of here, but we're going to try. And I've got me a platter over here to put it in. And the reason it's not easy to get out is because it's so tender it's going to fall apart. Woo! Get all of our good chicken out. We have boiled it. And you want to boil it for a long time because you want that bone broth in there, and you want to get all the goodie out of it. Don't just put it in there till it's tender. Put it in there and let it cook till it falls apart like this. Right now I'm going to turn my broth off because it's no use it's still cooking until I ain't made my dumplings yet. All right, let's do this then. All right, here's our chicken, and it's all torn to pieces, and that's because It's so tender and good. He's so tender. I did put some salt and some pepper in here, you know, for it to cook with it. And I put 1 stick of butter because I wanted mine real rich. All right, so here's what I do. I move all of this to this side, and then I'm going to put my meat over here on this side, my bones or whatever. Here are the 2 big breasts. Now this is, let me get me out another bowl or something. Let me do that. It's probably too hot for me to even work on it right now. Here's a piece that's good. Just put it right there. But you're going to get all the fat off of it. You want to cook it with the fat on it because that's what is so good. That right there, that's fat. Well, Bambi loves that thing. Now here are your 2 big old breasts right here. Can you see that? If you didn't want chicken in your chicken and dumplings, which my kids, they just as soon have the dumplings. They're not crazy about the chicken part. They just like the broth and the dumplings. But you could take these 2 breasts right here, look at there, and make a huge chicken salad, and then make take some of this other meat. See, there's a good bowl right there. But that's a gristle. And just put that breast over there, let it kind of cool off a little bit. That's just a half of a breast right there. Isn't that thing huge? All right, here's the other one. I'm going to shred this up and put it back in the chicken and dumplings when I make them, okay? All right, I'm going to let y'all go, and I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to come back, and I hope that I still have on the same outfit. Do y'all ever do that? Do you change clothes like several times a day? I had on a turtleneck a while ago. I was outside. Somebody gave me a Gloriosa bulb, and they are gorgeous. And so I wanted to go ahead and get that in the ground because it's time to do it. So I planted that, and when I was outside, I had on a long sleeve turtleneck, and I like to dye it out there. I got so hot. All right, here's that. I'm gonna let it cool, and I'm gonna do all this, the dark meat, and then I'll be back. I feel like I need to tell y'all this. The reason I buy the whole chicken is because I want the fat, and I want that dark meat, because the dark meat is very flavorful. If you only buy chicken breast to do your chicken and dumplings, it's going to be kind of bland, y'all. Chicken breast don't have a lot of stuff in it that's good. I mean, it's delicious, but it doesn't have what we need, which is all that bone broth and all that kind of stuff, okay? I wanted to just tell you that in case you didn't know. I know all you old-timer cooks know, but there's some younger ones watching. Okay, I think I'm finished deboning it. I got a lot of chicken. This is something I suggest you do after you think that you've got it deboned. After you think you have, and it's cool enough, put your hand in there and feel around. Because you don't want any bones in your chicken and dumplings. Not a single gristle or bone. Even though I eat gristle, I don't like to serve it when I'm serving somebody else. So please just take your hand like this and feel around in there at anything. Look at there, what I found. I found a bone. There it is. That's what I'm talking about, in a little gristle. God gave you fingers for a reason. There's a little tiny one right there. See that? So just feel around after you think you're done and give it a good little feel. You've got to do that because there'll be people there tonight that's got little children, and we want to make sure that there's not anything in there that might hurt them. So just, you'll know it if you feel it. Just touch every little part. This breast won't have many. You can just take it, kind of do like that. Make it kind of shreddy looking. And we're not going to put this in our chicken and dumplings until they're completely done. So what we're going to do is I am going to wrap this platter in some plastic wrap because we don't want our chicken to dry out, okay? We don't want our chicken to dry out. So that's what I'm going to do. There's a piece of fat right there. They don't want that. There's a little gristle. That's a big breast, I'm telling you. That would make some great salad, but I didn't plan to make salad tonight. Besides, I don't have any celery, and I just don't like chicken salad without some celery in it. I like a lot of good stuff in mine. I like cranberries in it. I like pecans in it. Woo, hot. All right, so that's how you do it. Just remember the feel of it after you think that you've got them all out. Okay, y'all, we're fixing to make our dumplings. We are fixing to make our dumplings. I've got a big old bowl out here. And I don't like the fat dumplings. I like the skinny ones. So I'm using all-purpose flour because it doesn't have anything in it. It's just flour. And I'm going to make them in this big bowl so it makes us the best. And I'm probably going to make more than what you need. So you cut yours in half. Because I feed a lot of people. This is a 4-cup measurer right here. So I'm going to just pour in 4 cups of flour in there. All right. Now we'll pour 4 more. And if I have any leftover dough, like I don't need it, I can make fried pies out of it. It's not going to be wasted, that's for sure. All right, we're going to have 8 cups of flour. All right, let's set this over to the side. I've got 1 cup of grease. This is lard, but y'all can put in whatever you like. I made me a bird nest right in the middle of this thing. I guess I need to move y'all over here, but I will. Let me move you over here. You bake it, you kind of do it like you do a biscuit. All right, since this doesn't have any salt in it, I'm going to add just a little bit. Just because it needs it. You want your dumplings to taste nice. Just sprinkle a little in there. And I've got some buttermilk. But now remember this, if you want to make them cheap, you make it with water. Come over here and let me help you over here. Come over here. You need to look down in that bowl. What we're doing. Get out in that bowl, darling. Get out in that bowl. There we go. Here's our grease right here, see? This won't be like a biscuit. You don't have to be careful or anything. And I probably will add a little bit of, see, I'm going to mix it all like that. I'm using all of it. I probably will add a little water. But I want that flavor of that buttermilk. That's the last of that. To the store I'll go. I got another thing of it though right here. You see, okay? All right, what you want is you want a stiff dough. Let me get some water, you know, because we'll use some water too. Let me get some of that. I've been tasting my broth over there, and I've put 2 sticks of butter in it because I want it real rich. Well, this is good exercise for your arm. Last night when I was sleeping, I slept with this arm out from under the cover because I sleep on my right side. And that fan, I had the fan on and it blew on my arm all night. So this morning when I woke up, my arm was hurting. The muscle in it because it got cold. All right, that's about right. And we're going to work it a long time. let me get it off of my hands. I'm probably gonna need a little bit more flour to help me out just a little bit. Let me see what I can do. I'll stick my hand in this bag over here. They're gonna be good, y'all. This is for church tonight. We're having our Thanksgiving supper. And I know that when I don't make dumplings, everybody gets aggravated with me. So, all right, so when it looks about like that, it's kind of stiff. You want to pour it out on your surface. Let me do this. Flour your surface a little bit. Let me do that. My chopping block needs to be about a foot wider and a foot longer. Okay, there it is. And we are going to try to get this in some sort of ball shape. You just have to be patient with it. It's crumbly right now, but it'll stiffen up and it'll work together. It just takes a minute to do it when you're doing this much. Now, if you're just doing like 2 cups, you want just a little thing of, put you about a fourth of a cup of grease in it, or a little bit, 3 or 4 tablespoons. You don't have to put much at all. And if you don't have buttermilk, you can use sweet milk or you can use water. Remember to put a little bit of salt on your flour, seeing as how it doesn't have any. And I'm going to turn y'all off because I'm going to be beating this a while, probably about 5 minutes anyway. Okay, I've been working with it about 3 or 4 minutes. It didn't take quite 5. So here's what I do. Since my chopping block is so little, and I don't have room to do anything. Years ago, I used to make it on my countertop over there, which has no room. So to roll this out, I can't roll all of it out at one time because it'd be too thick. So I'm going to divide it into some smaller pieces. All right, I'm going to divide this half into 3 pieces. There's one ball that I can roll out. Here's another one. I might as well put my flour over here because I'm going to need it. Okay, that's another ball, and here's the last one. So we're going to have 6 balls. Now, I don't know if I'm going to use all 6, but I'm going to have them. And if I need them, I'll use them. If not, when I make pies next week, I will have plenty of dough. There's not really a recipe. I just kind of did it to kind of show y'all. But you just want a ball. If it's too sticky, add you a little bit of flour. And what we're going to do is clean off this real good so we can roll it out. All right, here's our last one. Get all the little gibbles up. I hope this video isn't going to be too long for y'all. Y'all are short attention span. Okay, I'm going to let these sit out till it's time to roll them out. And then they'll be ready. We got 6 balls here. That one's almost too big right there. I better divide it. It's too big. It won't. You want to roll this out paper thin, and your broth has to be at a rolling boil when you do it. And you need to know how to do this before you leave this old earth and go to heaven. You need to know how to do it. The Lord's going to say, well, I gave you hands and I sent you somebody to teach you. So why didn't you make a dumpling for your family? And what are you going to say? What are you going to say to him? It's like that man that was on top of the roof and the water kept rising. It kept rising and is a joke. He said it kept rising and rising. He said, Lord, send me somebody to get me off of this roof. Try to stop this rain from coming down. I'm going to drown. So the Lord kept sending him people with boats and this, that, and the other. Or sent boats and stuff like that. But he was scared to get on the boat and all like that. So finally, the man just drowned. The water came up, he drowned. And when he got to heaven, he said, Lord, why didn't you send me help? He said, I did. I sent you 2 or 3 folks out there to help you. You wouldn't get on that boat. Well, he sent me to help you make a dumpling. And I don't know what you're going to tell him when you go to heaven. I'm assuming you're going. I don't know. I don't know y'all well enough to know whether you are or not. But if you love Jesus and you say he is your Savior and you've asked him to be your Savior, then you're going. And I'll see you there. All right, y'all. We'll roll them out in a little bit. Okay, let's roll out one. What I did is I knocked them, I put them all in disc. Like that. I beat them and put them in disc instead of that ball. So here's how I did it. I just smashed it out like that first. To get it kind of flat. Then take your rolling pin and kind of flour it a little bit. Just, so it won't stick so bad. And then start rolling. Start in the middle and roll out. And you want to roll it till it's really super duper thin. This is why I did it like that, because, let's see, can you see okay? There you go. Uh-oh. There. You want it real thin, really thin. And then when you get finished, you can go get your broom or your vacuum and clean up all the snow that's in your kitchen. Because I got flour all over the floor and all over me. All right, let's see if it's sticking. If it sticks to your surface, you're going to have to pick it up and put just a little it's not sticking. But if it were, you just take a little flour like this and just barely put a little on there. Not much, because you don't want to put a whole bunch. All right, I'm going to show y'all how thin this is. I cut mine with a, let me move that. I cut mine with a spatula. You could use a knife, you can use a pizza cutter, whatever you want. I really should sit these off of here and put them somewhere else. Like over here in a plate, so I'll have some room to work. All right, that one little disc made all these dumplings. And I'm fixed to cut them, and I'm gonna show you how thin. And then you go just drop them. You've got to get your broth to a rolling boil, and then drop them in. Because if you have it not in a rolling boil, they'll stick. All right, so take your and score. So take your spatula or your knife or whatever, and here's how you're gonna cut them. Like that. Just, it doesn't matter if one's bigger than the other one. We're gonna eat them. We're not worried about what size they are. Then you come back that opposite way, like that. All right. Now then, let's pick one up and let's see what it looks like. Look how thin that is. See that? This is what you want. You don't want no thick dumpling. Well, some people do. They like them, but I don't. So I'm going to make them the way I like them. And I'm going to start this to a boil. I'm going to put the top back on it so it'll boil quickly. And I'm fixed to put these on, and then I'm going to take another disc right here and put it down and roll it out. That's how you do it. And then when you get kind of to the end, you will know if you need another disc or not. If it looks too thick, then don't use the rest of it. Just put it in the refrigerator, make you some fried pies or a Hot Pocket tomorrow, or something with it. Or add some baking powder to it. And, well, you can't do that, though. You'll have to use it for a dumpling or a pie or something like that. Okay, I'm going to start this boiling, and then I'll show you when we get ready to drop them in. Hey, y'all, it's boiling. Do you see it boiling over there? So what I do is I take my spatula, and I go under the dough like this. I mean, the stuff. I go like that, and I get me a bunch up at one time like this, and I just start dropping them in that boiling broth. And you got to work fast. You can't be doing this slowly. You got to get them in there. And they're nice and stiff. And I'm dropping half of them on the floor. I'll give those to Bambi. She likes dumplings. And that's how you do it. And now I'm going to start rolling out another one real quickly and put them in there, okay? See, they're just individual little dumplings, but when you got the rolling ball, they're not going to stick together. So that's how you do it. Now I'm going to fix to roll out some more, okay? Okay, y'all, it took all those discs that I did. Every one of them are in here. And here's our chicken. And I'm going to let the disc cook about 8 minutes. It doesn't take long because they're so thin. And you don't stir it a lot, but you better stir it because it may stick, okay? And then I'm going to put my chicken in. And now I'm going to put my chicken in and see how I kind of just got it shredded. I'm going to put all of it in there. Maybe they'll like it. And as I'm putting it in, I am feeling of it also in case I missed a bone, but I don't think I did. I don't think I did. Yep, I did. I'll show it to you. That's why you've got to use your hands. Don't be doing this with a fork and not feeling of it. You can do it with a fork, but you better feel of it. There's the bone I missed. Even after I felt it when I was doing it. So it's just important that you do that. All right, it's done. When you put your chicken in, that broth is so hot. And the chicken was room temperature anyway, so everything's good with it. I'm fixing to put the top on it and turn it off. Love y'all. Fix you some chicken and dumplings. You don't have to fix near what I fixed. Just add a little water or milk and some flour and a little grease, some kind of something, just a little bit, and it'll be good no matter if you didn't even put grease. Some people don't use it. There's all kind of ways to make them, and you can do it. You can do this. There's nothing to it. You saw how easy it was. Love y'all. Bye-bye. Sorry, I didn't let you see the finished product. There it is. There are your dumplings, and the good juice. The broth is real thick, because some of the flour that was on the dumplings came off, and there's your piece of chicken right there. And they're fine. See how thin they are? And they're not a noodle. Some of y'all said, that's a noodle. It is not. Noodles have eggs, darling. They have eggs in them. They don't even taste like this. I hope I get some of these tonight. When those teenage boys get up there, they about to get them all. They're fine, y'all. Remember that song that says, so fine. My baby's so doggone fine. She sends shoulders chills up and down my spine. Well, if I don't get any, it's okay. At least I got to taste them. Okay, now I'm going to clean up my kitchen. and try to get ready to go. I can wear this blouse, but I sure can't wear these shoes I got on, or these sweatpants. Bye, y'all. Have a great night. Love you. Bye-bye.